Podcast is
You're live.
live.
All right, good.
Yay.
So let's see. We're going to give it a few minutes to see if,
We have people coming in.
yeah, people are coming
Okay.
in. Let me send a message. Let's see if, let's see, we are live. You can.
No, no. Can you hear my son?
Yeah. But I didn't hear. What was he saying?
Is the meeting over?
Oh, no, it's not even started, darling.
We haven't started. We're just waiting for people to join.
Who are you looking to just like?
I'm talking to my friend Adeze. You want to say hi?
Mrs. S, let them not get confused. Where is he? Say
He's
where's
right here. He says he doesn't want to say hi. He's shy.
Oh, why now? What
Come and
did
say
I
hi.
do?
Just peek in like you would for your auntie, and then you can run away. That'd be fine. Come on. There's nobody else on. It's just the two of us.
And his camera. Hey, darling. He ran away. I don't bite, oh. I'm all the way in.
Yeah, my son. And then he will give me the logic as to, you said peek, not stay.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I'm gonna. Okay, I'm trying to share this.
How do I forward this now? Hello, my spooners. Nice. We're Cheryl, baby. Welcome. Good to see you. Later on in the show, I'm going to be sharing a link for anyone who wants to join in and ask questions or come on the live. But in the meantime, please feel free to share your comments, type your comments. We will have them scrolling on the screen. But I'm happy to see you. So we're just going to give it a few more minutes to see if we can get a little bit of an audience going, and then we'll get right into it because time is of the essence. And then while we wait, feel free to go get your libation of choice. I'm doing a little hot cocoa because it's getting a little cold here. We had some snow the other day, like steady for a few days. So I'm going to keep warm with my hot cocoa. Isn't it cute? My little cup.
Yeah. I saw
Yay.
your program when you were showing us those cups.
I know. I have the ones. Okay, so the first ones were the ones that were they didn't have a handle. And then I saw the one with the handle and I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I have to get it. It's so cute. It's so adorable. So we're going to give it a few more minutes.
Yeah.
What is the time? Okay, so we'll just give it one more minute and then we'll get going. I can't tell if it's showing or not. Okay, welcome all to being Mrs. S. Thank you, my spooners. I'm so glad that you are joining us for this wonderful, very interesting live show that we're doing, whether you're on YouTube or you're watching this on Being Mrs. S on Facebook. Thank you for joining us. So I'm starting a series. I've started a series, and it's called "I Have the Most Interesting Friends" because I do, and I love my friends. They are also interesting. They have so many different things that they do, and today I have a beautiful soul with me today, Mrs. Bolanle Body-Lawson. When I tell you, hi, I have known her for over 37 years, at least 37 years, at least. Now, I don't know
Wow.
who can claim to know anybody for that long. I have known her for at least 37 years. She's a wonderful person. Is it crazy that I look at you and I'm like, you haven't changed a bit?
My sister. Neither have you. Your face
Is it,
still looks the same.
can you imagine? 37
And
years.
7 years is a long time.
It's no joke.
Long.
Somebody's grandmother, please. It is bananas. I'm looking at you. I'm like, it's like we just walked into QC Alpha. All right, so she's an educator.
Those days.
She's a consummate educator. I've known her for such a long time. I'm gonna throw it over to her, and she's going to give you a little. This is who I am. Take it away.
All right. So, hi everyone. My name is Bola, and as Adeza said, I've known her for a long time, right? But who am I? I am someone who loves teaching. I got into teaching by accident, and I ended up loving it. And I stayed in teaching for over 20 years. Now I'm a mom of two beautiful children. I have a girl and a boy, and I'm married to a fantastic man who is very, very supportive. But I moved about a year and a half ago from teaching into another love that I have, which is baking. So I co-own a bakery with my sister, and it's in the beautiful city of Ikeja in Lagos, Nigeria. So that's who I am in a nutshell. Very small nutshell.
A very small nutshell, because we're gonna delve deeper into that, because we have a few questions we're going to ask her, and then she's gonna give us the ins and outs of all of that. So now, obviously, I told you guys we've known each other for years. We went to in what in Nigeria is called secondary school. I guess here it's high school. I don't even know the school system
Middle school,
here,
high
but
school? Yeah,
yes.
it's middle school,
So
high school.
middle school, high school, so we went to secondary school
Mm-hmm.
together. We've known each other for just that long. So I don't know if we ever had these discussions. I know we from time to time you ask, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be when you grow up? So tell us, growing up, did you always want to be an educator?
Actually, growing up, I didn't.
Ah.
I think my parents were hoping that I would become a medical doctor. And in thinking about that, I thought I would work with children, so be a pediatrician. That was where my heart was going to.
Oh, wow.
And I remember having one conversation. I think we were sitting in class, and we had one conversation, and your Korede, I think, was the one that looked at me and said, this one is going to have children early. And I thought, why would she say that kind of thing to me? What was happening? But when I became a teacher, and I thought, hey, wait a minute. We did talk about this in secondary school. It's interesting. I didn't do medicine. I still wanted to work with children. This is another way of doing it.
Right.
As I said, I entered teaching by accident. I went to visit a friend of mine, and she worked at a school. I worked in children's church in my church. So her proprietress, a British lady, came up to me and said, I heard you work in children's church. And I said, yes. She said, have you ever thought about teaching? I said, no, I didn't study education, so I wouldn't want to get into teaching.
What did you study?
I studied zoology.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah,
Ah, you know. And she said to me, I don't employ people who study education. They don't know how to teach.
wow.
Teaching comes from the heart. You have to have it in you, and then if it's in you, you can train yourself. You
That's
can get trained.
interesting.
But for you to study, and I thought that is weird, ma'am. That is so weird. But she said, try it. So she gave me a chance and told me to come and test out in a class, teach the children in a class for a day so that she would see. And so I went and I did it because then I was still looking for a job. I did it. And she was like, see, I told you, you have it. All you
Wow.
need now is training.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. And it was a small school. So she did the training. I went on trainings and Bob's your uncle. I stayed there for a long time.
Bob's really your uncle and my husband. Uh, oh my goodness. Wow, that is interesting. It's like the scale. Parents want you to be a doctor. Then you're like, this is what I'm gonna do. Then you study
Hmm.
zoology, and next thing you know, you're like, but it's still kind
Something
of
different.
also it's
Yeah.
different, but the same at the same time. It's all centered around caring for people, caring for something. You
Yes.
know, it's
Caring
amazing.
for, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
great.
It's
So,
amazing.
what made you decide on the transition from I'm teaching children to I
Hmm.
want to own my own
To
business? And then what made you decide on the business that you chose to own?
choose. Okay, so the transition was not an easy thing. Because I worked on the island and I lived in Victoria Island and I lived in Ikeja, the commute started to tell on me. So I started to get ill. My blood pressure became an issue because I
I
would
can imagine.
sleep late because I'm preparing my lessons, and at the crack of dawn, I'm up again. Why is her internet out? Is it not? And at the crack of dawn, I would wake up again to go to work. So I started having blood pressure issues. Then a few things here and there in the office. I just thought, okay, I would do this. I told my husband about it, but he wasn't ready at the time I wanted to leave. So he said, calm down, stay there. But COVID rolled round and COVID made the decision so easy
COVID made decisions
because
for a lot of people.
because it would be that today you're in school, tomorrow you have to stay, do it online, and then you
Yes.
do half in school, half online. It was just ins and outs. And then if a child in your class ended up having COVID, you would have to stay home, do the test how many times before you can let back in school. So it just made the decision easier. Plus, I realized that I was missing out on my children's lives because I leave in the morning. By the time I get back in the evening, I'm conked. And all I want to do is rest. I don't have enough time or enough energy to spend with them.
Yeah.
So, all those factors together just helped me make up my mind that, okay, it's time to leave this particular job
Yes.
and give my time to my kids and find something that I want to do for myself. So that was how I came to that decision. Now, how did I choose to go into bakery? While we were in QC, my mom had her own kind of in-home bakery. She would make cakes, wedding cakes, and things like that. And I would help her out once in a while. When I got into university, I wasn't at home as much, but if she had, maybe she wanted to make a chocolate cake for someone, she would just say, well, you know that chocolate cake you make? Please come home and come and make it. So I would
Yes.
go make it, get back to school, and things like that. So that has always been something that I always did. After university, my sister, who I'm in business with now, took over my job of helping my mom with the bakery.
Yeah.
So she helped my mom. My mom's now 77, 78.
Wow.
So her doing bakery is not going to be possible. So my sister and I, when I told her that I was leaving, she was like, finally, okay, let's pick up where mom left off and
Yes.
start doing that. And I said, fine, that's something I can get behind. So that's how I got into the bakery thing.
Oh, wow. Now, how easy was it to get going on the business? Now, did your mom have an established business and you just took over it, or you had to start everything from scratch?
Okay, my mom didn't have a fully established business. So my sister and I had to start everything from scratch again. And it was not easy. It still isn't easy because business in Nigeria now is by his grace. Um, Finding a place, getting the equipment, dealing with ever fluctuating dollar prices, those have been the things that we've had to deal with. But you know, as with every business, you roll with the punches,
Yeah.
and that's what we've been doing.
So, what were the steps? So, here in America, if you want to start a business, depending on what it is you want to do, you
Mhm,
go to the Secretary of State, you file your articles of incorporation, you
mhm.
go to the you get a tin, a tax identification
Application
number,
number.
right? Finish. Now,
Mhm,
obviously, logistics and things, depending on what type of business you have, that's separate and that's on you and
mhm.
your money situation. But as far as establishing the business, 1, 2, 3, you're done. How is
It
that?
it's basically the same thing. You have to go to the Corporate Affairs Commission, um, and then choose what name you want to call your business. I think that's what we do first. You do it like a name search
Right.
to see if your name is available. If
Mhm.
it is, then you would file the papers, um, after which you can legally begin your business. Your tax ID number, you would have to go to the tax office with your papers to say, I have this business, this is what I want to do. Then they give you, so that's two offices you have to visit to be able
So
to
you're
do.
physically going to those offices.
You know us in Lagos, you don't physically go anywhere. You physically send somebody to go for you.
so so it's not online 1, 2, 3. You
Eh?
actually use oh sorry.
It might be online, no. I don't know because I don't. It's like saying you want to do your passport online in Nigeria. It's there. You can fill all the forms you want there, but you have to go to the passport
Ah,
office and you have to
wow.
give somebody something,
Oh, come on.
for things to keep moving. It's there. I'm sure it is. In fact, I'm almost positive it is. But our system is, as you probably remember it to be, maybe a little worse, but it's always been like that.
Wow.
So you ask, someone does it for you. I
Yeah.
did not visit any of those make it. No, somebody did it. And then you get your papers.
And so about how long would the whole process take then if somebody else?
Um, the CAC one is the longest part of the process. And depending on how well you grease the wheels, it can take
Not grease the
anything from,
wheels.
yeah, it can take anything from 2 weeks to 8 weeks. So it all depends. It all
Ninja.
depends on how well. It's,
This articles of incorporation, TIN,
mm,
online, 1 second, you're done
I know.
immediately.
I, look, just to say something on the political end, if Nigeria was at that point, things would be so much easier.
I can
So
imagine.
much easier. If only they would let technology take a huge part of the stress away for people, things would be so much easier.
I mean, really,
So much easier.
that's the stress of it all. So what was the reaction from your family when you embarked on entrepreneurship? How did they take it? Your husband, your children?
My husband, before I started, was a little skeptical, but
Mhm.
he is such a supportive person that he was like, if that's what you want to do, I'm all for it. Right. I was like, we're going to go from a two income family to a one. So
For
you're going
some
to
time
carry
at least,
for some
yes.
time. Yeah. So he's like, I'm fine with that. Let's just keep going. He already understood the fact because he was more worried about me being sick than actually doing that. So he's like, if this takes away the stress of what you're going through and your blood pressure can stay normal for a long time, that's fine. I'm good with it. My son was like, finally, she's home. Ha, you know, even now, he's like, when I try to step out of the house, where are you going? Mom, where are you going? I'm like, I'm just going down the road. I'll be right back. So he was happy to have me home. My daughter the same. My family, I think I was the only one who was in paid employment. Everybody else is an entrepreneur.
Right.
So they were like, welcome to the club.
Welcome. Thanks for joining the club.
Yeah, it took you a while, but you're here
But
now,
you're
so that's good.
here.
Let's go. Yeah, so that was it. Everyone has been extremely supportive.
Supportive.
Extremely. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna throw in a little plus one. What about your friends?
Um, I'm going to start like this. He who must have friends must first show himself friendly. Um, I'm on the quiet side of life, very quiet,
You've always been.
introverted.
Always.
So I can't say that um, I have been out there enough for people to know that I'm doing this. I put it up on WhatsApp. I've had friends from my former place of employment say, okay, we want to do this, let's do this. People I know from there. And then friends from church have been supportive as well. We want to do this. Can you make this, and this? That's been fine. But like I said, I gotta be the friendly one first. I have to be out there.
Okay, so you're saying that you have received some
Yeah.
support, but you're
Yes.
saying that you can understand that you haven't received as
As
much.
much.
Were you expecting any more than you got? Or, and are you saying I'm not upset because it's not like I'm out there being a friendly person? What are we
I, you
saying
know,
here?
that's what I'm saying. I think I'm getting what I expected because I'm not out there. I'm not someone who I don't go to places. I'm a homebody. I
Hmm.
sit at home. It's my comfort zone. And so I believe that if my friends come and support me, that's wonderful. I appreciate it. But I haven't put myself out there to I think what I'm trying to say is I'm not upset that it hasn't been more from my friends because that's just it. It's what I expect. It's and maybe my expectations have been low, but that's just been me. Now, what would I do? How would I be better? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. When you have a service related business
Mm.
where, I mean, obviously your business is not, your friends are not going to make or break your business,
Mm.
but then they will definitely help,
Yeah.
right? So how do you reconcile the fact that you're quite introverted and then have a service related business? So are you the back person? I mean, you're the CEO obviously, but are you CEO in the back, where you don't meet greet your customers, your clients, things like that? Or how do you do it? Because you're a bakery. People everything, birthday, wedding, it's a social type business,
Type
and
business.
you're front facing all the time. So how do you reconcile that?
Okay, so that's the good thing about having a sister who's an extrovert being your partner.
Hmm.
She is the front face.
Wow.
I am the as I'm the one in the kitchen. I'm the
Hmm.
one who's saying, this is the recipe, this is what we want. She's great at baking too, and she helps if I need her to help in that line. But she is the one that goes, okay, so here's business coming in from this person, here's business coming in from that person. She does the front face, even though now she's like, nope, you got to go too. I cannot be the only one. You got to be there too. Because she knows that I'm not comfortable being front and center. But she's
Yes,
like, you've got to step out and
absolutely.
be front and center. You can't hide behind your screen and you can't hide in the kitchen. It's not going to work.
Wow. And so how many siblings do you have?
I have four siblings, three girls and a boy. Oh, a
Okay.
man. Sorry. Forgive me.
And so you're in partnership with both your sisters or just one of them?
Just one. Okay, so how it works is, what am I doing here? My last sister, the last one in my family, is the one I'm in partnership with because she's
Okay.
a foodie just like me.
Please sign
So,
me up.
so both of us are the ones in business together at the bakery.
Fantastic. So we've kind of dealt with the a little bit about your or have we your expectations. Now I've
Hmm.
asked you how supportive your family and friends were with
Yeah.
the idea of you going into this business. But what were, I know you said your expectations about friends because you're not, but overall, what were your expectations? How well did you expect it will be received by everybody across the board?
Um, so what I expected was that I would have constant let me do it like this. The basis of the bakery was that I would make cakes or whatever I needed to bake that would stand out in terms of taste.
Right.
So what I would do was make things for people, and then my expectation was that because it was such a great treat, they would come back. And
Plenty.
so I've been trying to settle with myself that people are trying to lose weight. So maybe bakeries are not so much in fashion. And, you know, I'm just finding justifications for how things are not going the way I expected them. But then I should also say that I've come to terms with the fact that it's a new business and it will take its
Yes,
time
exactly.
to get out there.
Yeah, a lot of new businesses, the first year is not the year for you to say this is,
Mm,
this is the make or break,
yeah.
you know? And so how long has Pieko Bakery been in business?
It's a year actually this month.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
Fantastic.
year this month.
And what are your showings? What do you bake?
Okay, so the essence of Pico was that we were going to make pies. I like pies. Every time I come to the States, I hunt down an apple pie because I can eat them for
That's my
a
specialty.
long time, right?
Mm.
So we looked about, and pies, especially in Ikeja, they are hard to find. You don't find people who make pies
Meat
in
pie.
Ikeja. Not meat pie, fruit pies and savory pies. Like
Okay.
if I wanted like a chicken pot pie, for example,
Oh
I
yeah.
wouldn't find someone who made a chicken pot pie in Ikeja. If I wanted one, I would have to go all the way to Victoria Island to get it.
For
And
chicken
then
pot pie.
the people who make pies here, the Pastries are a little too dense, not as light as I would like. So nothing like I would get even from a Sam's Club if I went to the States. So we thought that making pies would be our big thing. Pies that fruit pies, savory pies that people would love, that you could share out at dinner, not just the regular meat pies that we are used to growing
Yeah.
up. So that was that. But
So
then I
how
also
what fruits do they have in Nigeria that will work for these pies?
so we we have apples. We import apples a lot. We also import. We have strawberries growing in Jos.
Stockists.
Yes. No, I
Uh,
get strawberries. This is strawberry season. So
you
there's a
mean
lady
this?
in, yes, I mean it. There's a
Huh.
lady in Jos who does an agro business that we can get fruits from. She also has during so she has seasonal fruits. She has gooseberries and different kinds of berries.
Gooseberry. We don't like
Yes,
to hear gooseberry. I thought it was just somebody abusing
no,
somebody.
no. Um,
You're a gooseberry. I didn't know it was something real.
she has those berries. So Josh is a nice place to get fruits from. And
Oh
then
wow. I mean, I know I was in Jaws, so but I
yeah,
didn't know we had like that. Strawberries, gooseberries,
we do. We do.
blueberries, blackberries, all those ones too.
Blueberries for now we don't have because our weather even in Jos is not as conducive as it should be for blueberries.
Okay.
But they import those. I wouldn't use the imported ones to make pies because they would cost an arm and a leg,
Wow.
right? But we would do. And then my intention is also to just experiment with the fruits that we always get, like
Right.
mangoes, for
Uh-huh.
example. I know
Yes.
you can make a mango pie. We can make
Really?
coconut cream pies, the
Okay,
banana cream
yes.
pies that we can make. So there are
Uh-huh.
different things that we can do with those,
What about
and
cherries?
we don't have those
No
here.
cherries.
Agbalumo, I attempted an agbalumo pie,
How did
but the
it go?
problem I had with that was that it has so much latex in it that when you're trying to emulsify it in your blender just to try and get it, it messes up your blender.
Yeah,
So
too gummy gummy.
it just
Yes.
becomes something different. And its reaction to heat takes a bit. So I'm
Oh,
experimenting. I like experimenting.
that's good. Okay, so pies and then what else?
Cookies, muffins. I try to stay away from those big birthday cakes because they're everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
So just muffins that are healthy, interesting cookies for people to eat. Basically, that's all I'm doing at this point,
Okay.
because I want it to be something that's different,
Yes.
something that you wouldn't ordinarily get when you enter a bakery in Nigeria. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, and breads. I forgot about that.
Bread is essential.
Yeah, I make
So
breads.
you have a storefront where people walk in and order this stuff.
No,
You do not.
I do
Okay.
not.
All right. So how
Because
how is it done?
to have a storefront is another kettle of fish. And where my bakery is, um, they don't like people coming in and out. It's like it's in an estate.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is people order, I get it ready, and
Okay.
then they pick up. That's it. So it's
Oh,
order ahead, pick up on the day you want.
which, with the pandemic and everything, it kind of makes
Yeah.
sense to do
Sense,
that
yes.
because
Yeah.
who's walking around? Wow. So that's a huge cost with the delivery. So do you have your own driver or you have the service through something like Uber Eats? I don't know what they have in Nigeria for that, like a Grubhub
Okay.
and stuff like that.
So there's Uber, right, for deliveries, but there's also GoCard, and there are also different kinds of food companies here that I've signed up with to pick up
Okay.
foods. But most of the people who order just
They
come
come and pick it up
curbside,
themselves.
pick up themselves. I just take it out to them. That's it.
That's nice. Wow. Oh my God. So this is a big one. How has owning your business affected your family life? And I want to know because I know you said a little bit in the beginning that when you thought about going into it, everybody was like, "Ooh, good," your health and everything. But I
Hmm.
want to know, let's delve deeper into it, the benefits and the downside to it.
Okay. So I'll start with the benefits. The benefits of having my own business is I have more time with my kids, and there's nothing like it. Since they started going to school, someone else always took them to school, or someone
Yeah.
else was here when they would wake up. My mom, God bless her, did a lot of that work for me for a few years. But now I'm up in the morning. I speak to them before they leave. They have breakfast and all that stuff. And then I have the time to go and do what I want to do. Um, Again, my health has been great. I don't have, my blood pressure has been normal for the
Wow.
longest now. So that's been amazing.
Yes.
The other benefit to it is that I don't deal with the politics of being in an office at all. There's peace of mind for me, and I still grow. I still delve into education, believe it or not. I still go and look at my books, take courses when I find something interesting online. I still do that, but I have that peace. The downside for me is because the bakery hasn't fully picked up the way I want it to, I have some downtime, right? And I'm someone who always has to have something I'm doing. Something has to be happening. I have to be busy. And when I'm not like that, I get to introspect too much. I'm getting in my own way because I'm thinking too many things at the same time. The other one would be, of course, you would have the strain on your finances because you don't have a steady income coming up. But that would be my biggest downside to going into business for myself. The fact that I don't have um, the steady income I had as a paid employee right now. That has been my biggest downside. But aside from that, gosh, I love what I'm doing.
Oh my
And I
God.
love the freedom it gives me.
Yes.
Oh,
So now you said with the downside, you spend it doing
I
with the
said,
downtime, you spend it doing what?
you know how introverted people, have you ever met one aside from me?
Well, let me see. I don't know. I think I'm an is it
Yeah, an extrovert.
extroverted
Yeah.
introvert? I think I'm an or
Okay.
is it introverted extrovert? I don't know. I think it's extroverted introvert. Like I'm very social
Mm-hmm.
in social environments, but I like my alone time. Like I cherish my alone time. But I'm not the sort of person who will be in a social environment and you won't see them. So I
Okay.
don't know if that's the definition of whatever it is I was trying to say.
Okay. So for me, I'm one of those people that is in a social gathering, but you don't see
Okay, see, that's
because
not
I'll
me.
meld into the background
Right.
because I'm comfortable like that. But for people, for me, it also means that I'm over analyzing everything.
Ah,
I take a look at something and I'm like, why did that happen? Should I have done this? And I get in my own way,
right.
so that brings up also that imposter syndrome. You're not good
Oh,
enough.
wow.
This is why your business isn't. So you understand what I'm saying? It Because I'm over analyzing what's happening. I'm over analyzing me and I'm looking for every little problem, and that gets in my way. So what I'm doing now is reading. You trying to change the mindset.
More introverted stuff.
But it's more introverted stuff that is
More.
supposed to be helping this introverted girl to become extroverted.
No,
I
you will
hope.
be reading. You'll be look. I don't have anything against reading. I think it's the best thing ever, and I think everybody needs to read. But that's more introverted stuff to me. And this is me being. They say you shouldn't judge. I mean, I don't understand what they mean by that. What's judging? If I'm your friend, I can tell you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I don't think anybody's actually judging. It's
Judging.
it's a person's opinion. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily fact. It's not necessarily gospel. I won't go so far as to calling it, oh, you're judging. But I think yes, definitely I like the idea. I love that you are a consummate educator and you're constantly educating yourself. You're constantly getting better at doing things. But I think that you should also get out there.
I
You
should what?
know, I think, I think because you said your downtime, you're reading. Your downtime, you're reading. What kind of organizations do they have there for like um bakeries and things like that? Do they have stuff like association of bakers and things like that?
Association of Bread Bakers. I know they have that. Um, I know they have. I think that's the only one I know. That's the only one I think I know. Association of Bread Bakers.
Hmm.
And I've actually never gone for. I haven't tried to join the association. I haven't done any of that. Again,
So you see,
introverted me.
exactly. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I wish I knew which one it was. Extroverted introvert or introverted extrovert. I don't know which one it is. But I always find it interesting when I meet people who have who are like shy. I don't
Yeah.
shy in the background type people who
Mm-hmm.
have these businesses that are for
Interesting.
the peeps, right? You know, and I how well do you get along with your sister with this business? I mean, it sounds like you guys are peachy. You
Uh,
you enjoy working with your sister.
because we both know where we fall, we're good.
Please.
Bola is the one that is going to do the back end. She will
Mhm.
be in the kitchen. She will get her hands messy. She can deal, she's organized. She can deal with the staff. She can do this. That's fine. Take care of that. I can do the rest. Do you understand?
Wow, that's
So our
great.
relationship works.
Now,
And
has it always been like this? Have you always been just like there hasn't been like sibling rivalry in your that's
in my
wonderful.
house,
Yeah.
uh, my mom did a great job. We have our disagreements, we do, but we are a tight knit bunch.
Oh, that's
It's the
amazing.
kind of family that
Yo, yo, yo.
fight today, come back in 5 minutes, we are
Yes.
friends again.
Yes.
But we must have the fight.
Exactly.
We must.
It's necessary
It's necessary.
because you
But
have to
we
hash
sort
it
we
out.
will we hashed it out. I think we had one not too long ago.
Oh,
But everybody have sorted themselves and we are falling into place and we're all going.
exactly.
We understand and we've loved it. We've loved it. We grew up in a big house. I had cousins, uncles, everybody living with us. So I think that just pushed us, the main kids, closer
Closer
together,
together.
which
Yeah.
has helped.
That's
Which has
amazing.
helped.
So, do you have now that we're going into, well, here in America, we have Thanksgiving before we have Christmas. Well, do you have like huge specials or things you do, or do you have customers who come in and have special requests like, please, I want you to make this for Christmas?
Not so far. I haven't had anyone who's coming like that. Um, I don't think, I don't know that we have in Ikeja. No, we don't have such
So,
people.
the way you say Ikeja and VI and things like that are things, um, like food and bacon and things, are they specific to areas? Like if you go to VI or Ikoyi, are there
Mhm.
things people want more there than when you're in Ikeja, the things people are looking for? What's the dynamic when it comes to that?
Sorry, there's a my computer was going to go off.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
In Ikeja, I think what I would say is the people in Ikeja are a little bit more. How am I going to put it? VI people are bougie. Ikeja people are down to earth. So, what makes us happy in Ikeja is you have a fairly good meal. It's not so expensive, right? Because they would say, um, like apple pies now, people can come and think, really, why are you making us apple pie? Is there no
In
meat pie?
Ikeja.
Is there no meat? Is meat pie finished in the country? Do you
Are we done
understand?
with meat pie and
Are
scotch
we
egg and
done? What
sausage
is
roll?
this one that we are doing? What is
Are
this Oyibo food
you
that we're doing?
serious?
You know,
So you do have meat pies and sausage roll and scotch egg and
yeah,
all that.
if you
You have
ask
that.
me for them, if you ask me for that, I'll make it for you. That's not a problem, you know. But I'm trying to like say, do try something different.
But you're a catcher because I say, please, auntie, for your pocket, give me the meat pie.
Hey, you know those kind of people. That's who we are in Ikeja. But I still have people who are in Ikeja who are willing to try an apple pie. Like I know someone just made an order for her husband for an apple pie and um, shepherd's pie. That's what he wants, and I'm like, great, that works. So I have those people that do that, and VI people, like I said, they're bougie Lagos people. They're the ASO. You know how we used to call them in QC? ASO people. That's who they are. Those are our assorted.
But that's your niche. That's what you want to do. So do you have plans on expanding?
Eventually, yes. Once we are fully up and running, one of my plans is to have the pies packaged and put in freezers so that people can get them, buy them, eat them, bake them for themselves. They will be just made, frozen. All you have to do is put them in oven, bake it for yourself, and have it, and then expand out onto the island. But otherwise, expansions are part of our plans. Those are what we would like.
What about actually having a storefront?
I have dreams in my head of having a storefront eventually.
Mhm.
I would really like one. Like I said, on my end of Adeni Jones, because I live on Adeni Jones, we probably have one cafe on the whole of Adeni Jones. We don't have that many things here on this side of my Ikeja. And to have a storefront would mean that I would have a cafe, which is something I think we do need to eventually have a cafe that people can go into, have a nice cup of coffee or cup of tea, if that's what they want,
Yeah.
with a few, say, things that they can eat it with. Yes.
Yeah.
So every time I drive down, there's a building I see, and I'm like, oh, that's such a beautiful building to
Yeah.
have a storefront. So yes,
Storefront.
it's in my head. I do want to have a storefront eventually, so that I would do that.
So right now, how do people find you?
Uh, Facebook,
Hmm.
word of mouth, and
Do you have a
Instagram.
way of measuring like the do you have the analytics of it all? How do you know who's bringing in the customers?
No analytics for now. None. I haven't delved into that at all. Um, but sometimes when I do put things like do a blast on WhatsApp and
Hmm.
I get someone in from WhatsApp,
Hmm.
um, someone, but really word of mouth has been the best way. So I have this neighbor that I made um, a focaccia bread for, and she was like, okay, that's great. I'm going to tell everybody I know about you now. And she's done that. And I've had customers come through her
Yeah.
into the bakery for that. So word of mouth has been my best um, source of new customers.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you a really good question.
Okay.
Do you feel fulfilled?
Hmm.
Yay. We had to
Hmm.
excel on that one.
Do I feel fulfilled? I would say I do 80% of the time. I enjoy, really enjoy sitting in the bakery, coming up with things, trying things out, calling my brother, hey, you come, can you, what end notes do you see or do you taste in this? Have I
Yeah.
put something too much or what do you think? And we discuss all that. Um, I'm fulfilled when I see my kids and they can come to me, sit with me. Oh, mom, this is what happened in school today. Or, we can have discussions what I couldn't do with them 2 years
Before.
ago,
Yeah.
So that has been fulfilled. The 20% that's missing is just me waiting for my business to get in high gear.
Yes.
That's the 20%.
There's
But
always that
otherwise,
anxiety.
yeah.
And
Other than
that's
that,
expected. Yes.
yes, I do not regret moving from paid employment to being an entrepreneur.
That's
I do not
fantastic.
regret it. I don't regret it at all.
That is fantastic. Wow. This is so good. This
Thank
is
you.
really, really good. Um, what do you like to do for fun, Miss Introvert?
It's another introverted thing now. I taught computer games, but the phone type, right? Those are my go-tos, and I watch movies a
I
lot.
love movies, but do you watch it from the comfort of your house or do you actually go to the cinema?
When my husband and I first got married, we had date
And how
night
long have
every
you been married
Thursday.
for?
20 years, yes.
Wow.
So we would go
When
to
I
the
grow up, I
cinema.
want to be like you.
Don't worry, yeah, you're on your way.
Well,
Get
I'm on
there.
my way.
You're on your way there. Don't worry. Uh, we would go to the cinemas a lot when we first got married. Again, me, I used children as an excuse after I had them to sit at home and then work. But now both of us actually just sit at home, watch a nice movie on TV, and that's it. But I love watching movies.
Okay, so now you know you're on B, Mrs. S. We're gonna get into the Mr. and Mrs. type questions. We've got
Yes,
to.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because you said you've been married for 20 years, and I tell you,
Mhm,
that is amazing. I love hearing that. 20 years is a long time to a lot of people.
mhm.
People are like, wait, 20 years? That's a whole person who's about to get married.
Yep.
How has it been? I mean, we've talked about how your family and your husband have they've been supportive of you moving from here to here, this, that, and other. That's amazing. Let's talk about the personal, the husband and wife situation. How has it been since day one to now as a unit?
Um, it's been okay. So you know how you start young love, everybody's mushy cushy at the beginning. We actually managed to keep that going for a long time. We
Fantastic.
both decided not to have kids early, so we waited about 5 years before we had our first.
Oh, wow.
Um, so that because
Was
his
there
thinking
pressure
was,
from family here,
"Eh,
family here, family? I'm sure there
you should
was.
know." But my husband, God bless him, he dealt with his family. So if they would come to ask me, like how you have a family get together and I'm helping in the kitchen, and one auntie just sneaks in and says, "Huh, so when are we having our baby?" I Kuma don't answer. You know what I tell them? Go and ask your son, he's outside.
Oh,
And when I answer like that, they look at me and like, hey, this girl, what kind of answer is this one? Because they can't go and ask him.
no.
They won't ask him. So that just staved that for me.
Yes.
So that when we told them we were pregnant the first time, they were like, are you joking? Are you serious? Really? And I was like, yeah, we are expecting. It gave them something to think about. So he is the kind of guy that says, this is what I want. And that's the direction that we're going to. Um, he is almost as introverted as me. No, he's like
Wow.
you. No,
Okay.
actually, he's an introvert, extrovert, or extrovert, introvert. I don't
Yeah,
know how to
whatever
put it.
that is.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Like
that's the
me.
combination he is
Yes.
like you.
Because
In a
I
social
just
setting, he's alive.
good.
But when he's at home,
Quiet
he's
time.
quiet
Yes.
and just wants to be with his family kind of guy. I'm the introvert. He's extrovert introvert.
Okay.
Have we had any, like every married couple, you have your clashes over certain things.
And let's talk about
Me, I'm the
how
one
do
that
you
can hold a
handle that?
grudge.
Eh? Really?
I'm an
I don't see
introvert,
that.
you know,
Still, I
again,
still don't see
it
that though.
maybe not a grudge, but then I can again overanalyze. Why did he talk to me like that? What would bring that about? And then I'm thinking and ruminating. And for him, it's like, I thought we ended this matter 5 seconds ago.
I thought
Okay,
we
I'm very
hashed it out. I
sorry.
thought it was done.
I'm sorry. Can we move on? And it might take me maybe a day to totally get it
Are you
off.
serious?
Yeah, because it's stuck in my brain. What happened? What I have to like tell myself, let it go. It has. I have to verbally say to myself, it's done. Let it go. Shake it off. Go. Leave it. Because otherwise, my brain just keeps going back to the circumstance. Hmm. Could you have done something better? Or was there a reason why this? So I'm analyzing, and it's just sitting there. So I've learned now to like just, he said he's sorry, I say I'm sorry, we
You
move
move on.
right along.
Right. So do you find
Yeah,
that
we move right
communication
along.
was a big thing or is a big thing in your marriage in sorting these things out? So let me explain what I'm trying to say. Like you have issues, right? You have a problem. Do you find let's sit down and talk about
Hmm.
it solves it, or I'm sorry, and then you never talk about it and you move on? Which what is your way of solving conflict?
The problems. Okay, so for us, we um, sit down. I usually am the one that says, okay, I want to talk about this. This happened,
Yes,
and I
yes.
don't think I like what happened. And
Mm-hmm.
I pull it, I try to pull it apart. He listens, and then he says he's sorry, and then we try and find a solution. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want, I'm sorry. I just want a
Mm-mm.
solution.
Every
What is
time,
this?
sorry,
How could we
sorry.
have solved this
Mm.
better? You know? You
Ah,
know? And I've come to realize after 20 years that my husband just likes to, okay, I hear you say you don't like this. I get that you don't like this. I won't do this again, or I will try and avoid a situation that brings this up. Can we just move forward, please? I don't want to spend all my time talking about it. We've agreed that there's something wrong. Yes. So, Auntie, let's go. It's
make
okay.
we
Stop.
let's move on.
Move along, you know? And that's me getting to understand that has kind of reduced the amount of overthinking that I do, because it took me a while to get it, but I got it eventually. That's how he is, and he's not going to change anytime soon. So that's fine. I've come to deal with that.
I have I talk. It's like I tell my BDD every time, you're not gonna say you didn't know. That's never gonna come out of your mouth. No.
Because you hear it.
Yeah. I told you, you know? And I think I hear you when you say when you say your husband says the ad nauseum of it all is not what I want.
Mm,
But which I guess is where I get that introvert part, the
hmm.
analyzing things, just like you saying, wait, why did he do that? And I do that because I always want to understand. For me, it's the
Yeah.
understanding of it all. I want to know why you did
Why
or
it happened? Yeah.
because wait, what did you just do now? Or what did you just say now? I always want to do it. And I'm like, let's sit down and talk. And I find I love communication. And I don't know if this is the difference between men and women. Men don't like to
It's,
talk.
mm-mm.
There is too much tautology. I don't want.
It's too much
Which
wala.
I appreciate because I don't want a man arguing with me like a woman. That's not cute. I don't want that. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
not talking about arguing. I'm talking about having proper conversations where,
Sessions.
yes, you say something, I say something, we both understand. And men don't even want to do that. Most men, anyway, don't even want to do that. So I
I
find I'm the one championing the conversation all the time.
That happens here as well. And which day was it? I think it was this week. I wanted us to talk about something. I find that if I introduce the subject on Monday and I leave it, give him a day on Wednesday. Do you remember what I was talking about on Monday? Can we talk about it
Can we
again
get
just a
to the
little bit
discussion?
more? Hmm, you know? And then he's like, okay, what were we saying? Okay, this was what I said. And I lay my points out. This is how. And he's like, oh, okay. And we can have that discussion, but he doesn't want to do it all in one space. So I say, we start, take a break. I come back again, take a break, and then we finish the matter. And I
Oh,
think it's a lot of men tend to do that. They tend to like not want to talk. Um, they say they see what you're talking about and they understand it. But I think for someone like me, I need to know that we have talked about it. I need us to, it's like me wanting to hear myself think, and I need a sounding board.
yes,
So listen to me.
right.
Just hear me out. And then if I'm going in a direction you don't think we should go in, you nudge me back in. But let me know that we've had this conversation so that when I ask you about it in future, you will say, oh, you can't say, like you said,
Yeah,
you didn't
you
hear
didn't
about it.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think that's a good take because I don't I don't want to have 2 or 3 days of conversation. So if it
Mm,
takes the whole day to have the conversation, we're gonna have the conversation. And I don't want a repeat of what we talked about because I'll be the
mm-hmm.
first person to say, well, didn't we just talk about that? Because I'm not sure where this is
Why we're
coming
talking
from.
about it
Yeah,
again.
yeah. So I want to have a conversation and I want it solved in that little moment right there.
Mm,
And then we move on.
move on.
That's what I want to do. And my husband sometimes just doesn't want to talk. He's just he no, I okay, and I'm like, no, because you're not giving me the I don't feel
The,
like you understand what I'm saying.
it's, it's like you hear me. It's like, guy, can we just discuss this matter,
Exactly.
please? You look at me
Exactly.
like as if, but I've heard you. What else should we say about it?
So did you notice a difference in the first 5 years of no children to now the children are here? What changed?
I changed.
Oh,
Um, so first 5 years was just both of us. I could do whatever I wanted. He was there. There would we could. I mean, I had no excuse.
mm-hmm.
Let me put it like that, to not want to do things. When the kids came, they gave me an excuse not to want to do things. Because
Really?
because I mean, I leave home at 5. I come home about 4:35. So for 12 hours, I haven't seen my daughter, who was first. When I come home, I have to bond with her, stay with her, because she's been bonding with my mom, not me.
Oh yeah.
Do you understand? So it was them. I would spend my time with her, and then that just built up when you had a second one. We try to still do things. So maybe take a trip together or do one or two things without the children, send the children. When my sister was still here, because she's in the States now, I used to send my kids off to her house on the weekend.
Okay,
Be gone,
exactly.
go away.
And you didn't feel any guilt about it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
oh no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no guilt whatsoever.
Exactly.
None. Please be going. It's my husband and I's time now.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. You know. But now that she's gone, my junior sister has young kids. There's no need to add my own children to our own children and just confuse her matter. So that little avenue is not here, but I'm fine. I'm going to find different ways. I'm on the case.
Good.
But that's what's changed really. Being able to spend more time together
Yes.
is what's changed in those years.
What is your so you know what I do with my BDD? We grade every year of our marriage. In fact, I said
Okay.
I'm going to start getting trophies, you know? We grade every year of our marriage because we just had our
Hmm.
anniversary. And I find
Yeah.
that
Salt Lake
each
City.
yeah, Salt Lake City, it was spoon season, honey. So every year is getting better and better and better and better. And sometimes I sit down and I'm like, am I in dreamland? You know, like I'm not. And then again, first of all, I'm not even sitting out here trying to say marriage isn't difficult or is not tough because we got married in that first year. There was so much that went on. I mean, I don't even want to think about it. There was so much within the time when we started dating to the time that we got married. So when I say the heaviest things like people have to deal with, we both experienced
Mm,
it. He on his side, on my side, we got married on our side. Everything was it was just so heavy on us. And when we weathered that storm, when we crossed when we I said crossed that threshold of difficulty, and I looked
mm.
at him and he looked at me and I said, we did it. I can't believe it. And then year two, year three, I was like, oh my God, this is like for real,
Paradise.
forever. Exactly. I was like, I mean, so I feel that way. I look at my husband sometimes and I'm just like, I love this man. You know, he's so amazing. I look forward to the next year with him. You know, do you find yourself doing that? Like you're already planning, hey, here's what we're going to do. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I see him every day, and this is how I feel. I'm just excited because I'm like, we did that. We overcame that. It was hard, you know?
Hmm.
And I look forward to it. And do you find that you do that as well? Like you're already planning out your next 20 years with your husband. Like you already like you don't see anyone else but him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Funny that you asked. So this week in one of our conversations, I was like, you know that our daughter is writing her IGCSEs this year. And I'm like, she's going to go to university soon. So we are becoming empty nesters.
For
What are
real.
we what are we gonna do? What's next? What are we planning? How are those years going to be? You know? And he was looking at me like, are you sure she's going already? I'm like, she's close. We're almost there. So yes, I do find that I look at him sometimes and I'm thinking, okay, so what's next with this man? What's our next adventure? And our next big thing is she's going to university, he's going to secondary school. Um, we're going to be at home. What are the plans? What are we doing? How are
Right.
we rolling this next few years?
Right.
Those are the things that I'm thinking about now
Yeah.
and hinting, what's up?
I know. Oh my God, this was so fun. For those of you who are listening, if you have questions, or you want to join the live stream, let me share the link. You can come on. I can bring you on and you can share your thoughts. And then, Bolan, if you don't mind, can you put your address on there where people can find you, phone number, things, can contact you, and how they can reach you while we wait to see
Sure.
if we have anybody coming in with questions. And so, okay, so your son is going into secondary school. You're opting for
Hmm.
boarding house, or he's going to be a day student?
Oh, he's going to be a day student. But the house in Nigeria is not the same as when we were in school. No, no,
Even then.
I don't do that.
Yes, so that's cool. That is amazing.
Mhm.
And just put the link there. Sorry, the
Yeah,
address and phone number
address.
that
Yeah.
people can come in, know how to reach you. So savory pies, here they call pizzas pies as
Mm.
well. Do you make pizzas?
For the kids to eat, yes, but I haven't made them to sell. No.
Okay.
So when I make pizzas, I just make pizzas at home
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for them to eat. I don't know
Is that a big
because
thing in Nigeria? Do people like pizzas in Nigeria?
Domino's has taken over. They rule.
Really? They have
Yeah,
Domino's.
we have Domino.
It's true. And they have KFC, Abby.
We have KFC. We have Cold Stone. We have all
Ugh.
them people. Ooh, you know Nigerians like food, right?
Ah, you are telling you number one foodie. Did you put your address on there?
Yeah. Can you see it
I don't see it.
on the chat?
Yeah, I don't see it on the chat.
Hmm. Okay. I did. I'll try again. So I'm going to put that in.
So we have Tami says, great conversation. Yes, it is absolutely a great conversation. I was hoping more people will come on and um ask Bolanle, pick her brain about different things, especially this whole idea of starting business in Nigeria. That just seems like a tough task.
Yeah, it's a tough task. A tough task.
I mean, but
I'm
you
telling
you
you.
you send someone out, so
Hmm.
you were just sitting and waiting
Sitting and
for.
waiting, but even the waiting. You know, for businesses in Nigeria, you have so many things to deal with, but I think our biggest issue is light. That's our biggest issue. So on the days when NEPA is crazy, they decide they don't want to give you light. You have to generate your own power. And then the petrol people now say, okay, you know what? We've decided we're not selling petrol today. So you can't even power your gym. Or diesel has become an astronomical price. And you're like, what's the problem? Do you understand? What's the problem?
And I'm thinking you use a lot of power. I mean, for baking and things like that. So I can imagine how much of an exorbitant cost that will be for you just running
It
that bakery.
it is an overhead that I don't even want to think about. But it's not just that, it's the ingredients. So you want to do right by your customers and give them the very best ingredients.
Exactly.
And every time you go, you can buy in bulk once and the price is like this. And in your mind, those are your projections for the next time you want to buy. And then you call your supplier and they're like, it's either we don't have or the price has almost doubled. And you're
Wow.
thinking, who? Huh? What is going on? Those are the main things that drive businesses under in Nigeria. It's the uncertainty of our nation.
Wow.
That is the biggest thing. Biggest. It is hard. Can you see the address and phone number now?
No, it's not showing. And
Hmm.
then for those of you for my hashtag smooners, my smooners, the listeners, I have posted links on there. Feel free to click on the link if you want to come on the live show, and if you have a question that you want to ask Bonali, or if you just have a comment that you want to share,
Okay.
click on the link.
Let me see if I can put it on Facebook.
Yeah, if you can put it on Facebook directly, or
Yeah.
you can send it to me and I'll copy and paste it.
Okay, so I just try to put this in. Maybe that's when I'll let me know.
Yeah, it's not showing up in the comments. You
Yeah.
send it to me on WhatsApp and then I'll
Okay.
copy and paste it in the comments.
Sure.
So, children are a big thing. So you see how your parents thought, oh, Bolanle is going to be a doctor, right?
Hmm.
What's your idea for your children? What do you have expectations on them? Do you feel like I want you to be this. I want you to be this. You will do it because I'm telling you to do it. Or do you feel like decide for yourself what you want to do?
Not so much. Because I'm a teacher, first and foremost, I know that you shouldn't do that. But my first child is, I look at her sometimes and I think, oh, you're going to be a lawyer. I can just tell. I can see it in you. So when she was choosing her subjects for IGC, that's all I said to her. I didn't say you must be a lawyer. I just said, I think you're going to be a lawyer. When she was choosing her subjects, she just went roundabout and chose something else. I said, fine. What do you want to be? She said she wants to go into fashion. And I said, great. I like that. If that's what you want, these are the things you're going to need. And we talked about it. She chose. So during the month, we were having a conversation. And she says to me, can I do law? I said, I'm sorry, what?
That's
Why?
amazing.
Why are you asking me that? I thought I said, I thought you were going to do law and you said no. She said, yes, mommy, because you said it. So I wasn't planning to do what you said I should do. I said, but I didn't
Ah,
say you should do it.
these children of nowadays,
I
there's
didn't say you
nothing
should
we'll
do it.
see.
I just mentioned it that I thought you would make a good lawyer. She said, well, you mentioned it, so I chose not to.
Ha.
I said, fine, but you see, the way you are now, you have locked in your choices for IGCSE, so you're kind of stuck. Do what you have said you would do, and that's fine. So um, I try not to tell them what to do because even if I do, they will not listen. They will choose what they want to do. And I think that's what we should be encouraging. What I tell parents is don't ask them what they want to do. Try and find out what problem they want to solve because then they will be working towards their passion. It has to be something that they're passionate about for them to have satisfaction from it eventually. If it's something that you force them into, there'll be resentment there. They will not be happy at all. So um, don't do that.
So your parents didn't force you.
They mentioned it. That's all they did. My dad, if they were going to force me, they would have. I had an uncle who probably till today calls me my doctor, and I'm thinking in my head, uncle, that ship has sailed a long time ago, a long time ago. But my parents they never told us what to study. All they wanted was that you get an education. That was all my father was about.
Oh wow.
Get an education, whatever it is, get an education. I just need my children to be educated. That's it.
But what if they say they don't want to go to university?
Maybe
What
easy. Where? How? In
what will
whose
you
house?
do?
My
Really?
kids?
Yes.
Well,
What will
they
you
know.
do?
They know. I'm
If
like
they
my
say they
dad.
want to be the new whiz kid, what is it? I don't want to go to university. You say no.
Please be the new whiskey after you have finished getting yourself an education. I'm not requiring anything of you except a BSc in any
Okay.
subject. I'm not bending you. I'm not saying you have to study law or you have to study medicine. No. Choose if you want to be whiskey, study music, study business of music.
Right.
Get yourself some information, know what exactly is expected of you, and then feel free to do what you need to do. But that first degree is a normal
Oh,
thing.
I didn't know Wizkid went to university. Sorry. Wizkid, you see, Wizkid is a superstar.
See,
That's my
it's
favorite.
important.
Okay, if they want to be the new whiskey without the university, that's what I meant to say. Yes, I think that's great wife, great mother, great baker. Please, what are you not good at?
What am I not good at? Having a healthy opinion of me is something I'm not
Oh,
good at. Yeah,
are you serious?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Is good that you said that. This is good that you mentioned that. Here in America, a lot of people think that um, mental illness is not talked about enough. People don't talk about, they don't see mental illness as an
An
illness.
illness.
Yes.
Mm-hmm,
And I think it's probably 10 times worse in Nigeria because at least
mm-hmm,
here they have, people actually have healthy, let me go and talk to somebody, this, that, and the other. I I I came to terms with my mental state a long time ago, and I realized how what's in here controls the entire body, whether you
mm.
like it or not.
I know,
And if
yeah.
your head isn't right, nothing else is right. So now saying that you don't have a healthy opinion,
Mm.
of yourself, how are you dealing with that? What are you doing
Okay,
to
so
counter that?
I think it started first with body shaming when I was younger because I've always been on the big side. And for my,
Where were you getting the
do
body shaming from? What was body shaming you?
you have I had uncles, and my name was Fatso
Stop it.
Fatibongo.
Are you
No, no, no.
serious?
Yeah, yeah. So they had different names for me. But you in then I was just like, whatever, it's what you're calling me, and then sometimes,
But did you
but
internalize it? Did it
of
affect
course,
you then? Okay.
it did. And that's why then at a point I stopped wearing dresses because I thought dresses really made me look fat, so I would not wear dresses. I wore most all my life in university, I wore a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, something. It was never a proper dress. I didn't have dresses for the longest time. um, and then I would go from one fat diet to the next fat diet just so that I would not be fat. And now, after listening to different preachers, um, learning the word of God, getting better in my relationship with God, I know that my body is mine and I need to love my body for what it is, because I mean it's kept me. I'm here. I have to look after it, but I don't have to be skinny for me to be loved. That's one thing I have now come to realize. It took me a while to realize it, but I have finally realized it, and I'm happy with who I am. um, what I've also realized is being off that treadmill or the rat race that we are in Lagos has allowed me to catch up on my sleep, which has kept my weight steady. I'm not rising and falling like I used to. I'm losing weight, but I'm losing it steadily. And I'm not doing
It's so
anything.
interesting. I can't believe that you're saying this because it was like the reverse for me. I was like, bunga fish. So,
Okay.
that's what I would be called. Bunga fish.
Hmm.
I was so looking forward to putting on weight. Now I'm begging for the weight to go. Please go weight. Please go weight. But I was so skinny, and that was the thing. It was like and it's funny you're calling it body shaming. I didn't think of it as that. I just thought, Nigeria, everybody has bad mouth. So I was like, okay, and I kept on moving, okay, good, thank you. But actually, now that I think about it, maybe that's part of why I wanted so much
To
to
put on
gain the
weight.
weight.
Mhm.
Yes, actually, that is it. see how skinny you are. See how this. I was feeling like, but at the same time, I was like, when I gained these weights, what is it? And I started gaining weight and I loved it. So I see. Now it's an issue. Who knew that old age will teach you a lesson? Old age will say, oh, you want to be fat? Okay.
Come on.
Take this and enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Oh my God. And what are the other issues?
I think that has always been my biggest issue.
Really?
And as I said, it's also, yeah, because when you have that, it eats into your self confidence. So that messes up your self confidence. Being a teacher helped me stand in front of people, talk to
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
So I was able to conquer that and be able to talk to, once I'm in my comfort zone of teaching or talking about education, I can talk from now till tomorrow, believe it or not. But it deals with your self confidence. Again, and then having a husband who looks at you and says, "But you're beautiful."
You're sexy. I beat it every day.
But
My hot
this
sexy
is the
wife.
well, like if you lose too much weight, if I catch you, that kind of thing. He looks at you and tells you sincerely that you are beautiful to me. I love you the way you are. Don't think about anybody. And he buys you clothes that just make you feel like, ooh, oh wow, okay, all right. That helps. It helps build you. It helps build you up. It helps you feel good. And
so you're saying it was just your relationship with God. Did you ever talk to a therapist? Was there someone you felt? No. Okay.
Okay. If I'm being honest, talking to therapists in Nigeria still carries a big stigma with it. And I don't think it ever crossed my mind. What I would veer to would be my sisters. They'd be like my therapists. I
Yes.
would go and I would
Yes.
sit and I would
Yes.
cry and I would talk, and they'd come around and they'd be like, okay, no, if we do it this way or we do it this way, how about you read this book? This book helped me. So having that kind of support is always so important. People that you can just pour your heart out to.
Yes.
Again, I don't have friends that I would sit and talk to. And I was telling my husband the other day, it is bad. I shouldn't be like that. I really shouldn't be like that. My daughter pointed it out to me. I
Oh
said,
wow.
Mommy,
Wait, what did she say?
She said, Mommy, I'm not going to be like you.
Oh,
I'm going to have friends. And I'm like, good girl, go for it. Don't be like me. But that was what she said. And I'm like,
kids.
but that program, Kids Say the Darndest Things? It is so true.
It is the truth.
They see it, they just say it as it is. As it is.
So
And
when
I'm
she
like,
said it, did it shock you? Were you like,
hey,
wait, what?
I was like, Jesus. Hey, you know how Igbo women will say, what I that in
Hell, hell.
So we were having such a serious conversation. I couldn't let her see that.
See, yes.
That bounced me. And I was like,
Yes.
okay, that's fine. I get it. You should have friends. And I went on and I talked about, when you have friends, what I want from you is, if you're going out, just tell me where you're going, really, because it's a safety issue for me. I need to know where you are at any point in time. And that's it. And that was the conversation we had. And when she left, I sat and I thought about my life and I said,
Hell.
"Chai."
You see your life?
But really, that's what it is. So having people around to talk to is always so important. Even if you don't have a therapist, just someone that you can share your pains with.
So do
Like
you
a
think
problem shared is
that
a problem solved.
do you think that your choice or your decision not to have friends, aside from you being shy or being an introvert, was just you don't trust people?
Yes,
And if
but
that is it, what brought that on?
it's not a matter of, before we started this program, we talked about the programming that parents do to their children.
That's true.
That's another programming that I received. again, um, I my mom shared experiences that she had with people, friends, people she thought were friends who betrayed her and all that. And then she would say, don't do this, or if you tell her you want to go out, say people are going out again, where are you going, who's
Where
looking
are
for
you
you, say,
going?
who's
Why
looking
is
for
it
you,
always you
what do you need,
going?
you know, that kind of thing. And for me, who internalizes a lot of these things, it just stayed stuck with me. So I'm like, who's looking for me? Nobody. Please let me sit down inside my house,
This is
and that's it.
interesting that your parents, your mom was doing that. You were like, you held on to that, but
I absorbed it like a
how
sponge.
how is it that the cycle broke? Your daughter said to you, no, 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 this is not going to be me. How so were you not having the same conversations your mom had with you
Mm-mm,
with your daughter?
because I realized that those conversations she had with me made me who I am. And to break that, I need to end those conversations. Those
Mm,
conversations should not go to the next generation, except I want to say exactly what I'm seeing in me in
right.
that generation. So, no, that did not happen. You want to go? Where are you going? Okay, your daddy will drop you. When he's coming to pick you, he will call you. Bye bye.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing what listening, you know how it's so, we don't think anything of it when it's happening, but we are conditioned by the things that have happened in our past. And if
Absolutely.
we are not looking for those things, we don't realize that that's what has happened.
Yes.
We don't realize it. It's amazing. So when she said that to me, I had to go back and think, okay, so how did I truly and really get into this position? And I started to just go through things. And you know, when you're reading all these mindset books, you now start going, okay, so what are these hidden mindsets that I have? And you're finding all these things and looking for them, trying to just sort them out easily.
Okay. So you've realized the problem.
Mm.
Okay. And then your daughter has hit you with the
With a brick.
with the it's not going to be me. So now, do you feel I'm at an age where this has been me all my life, so I'm just going to stay in this state even though I recognize what the issues are? Or do you feel like I recognize the issues and now I'm changing? What are you doing?
Uh, right now, honestly, um, I recognize the issues. I'm scared of changing it because who would I change it with? um, would I be able to reintroduce myself into a group of friends that I don't, I haven't seen, I haven't talked to, you know, that kind of thing. So again, for someone like me,
It's not
again,
reintroducing, Bolanle. You're not
it is,
reintroducing.
what would you call it? The last time I
Hi,
saw
it's like hello
anybody was that time we had the XOG
reunion.
reunion. That was the last time. Korede, I would see before I stopped work because I would see her on the island. Her son was in my school. So I saw her on a regular. Jumoke, maybe when I went to the clinic, she would be there and I would see her. But that's it. Do you understand? And it's something that needs, I know I need to work on it. I know that. And I'm hoping the opportunities arise for me to be able to do that because I do need to be better. I know that I need to do better.
So yeah, so I hear you, and it sounds as if you feel like, how do I start it?
Yeah.
What do you think you need to do to start it?
Um, the next time we have something, maybe go out.
Well,
Somebody
do you think maybe how about picking up
pick
the
up the
phone?
phone. and calling somebody.
Yes. Have
That'd
you
be
tried
nice.
that?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Are you afraid to try that?
In a way.
What do you think is the objection or what do you what's the fear? What's stopping you from doing that? Listen, I get what you're saying because I
Mm,
remember a few years ago, I had a friend that I've known. So I said at least 37 years we've known each other. Maybe this one I've known her for at least since we were babies.
ooh.
And we left QC and I hadn't seen her in a long time. And I had dreams about her. Like all of a sudden I was having
Mm-hmm.
and my dreams are either they foretell something that's going to happen or
Yeah.
something's already happened. Because I hardly ever have dreams. And when I have dreams, it's like something is about to happen. So I searched high and low, high and low, high and low, looking for her because I wanted to talk to her and just I haven't talked to you like forever. What's going on? And when I finally found her number and I called her, it was a very cold reception.
Mm,
It was very cold. It was like, what do you want? That's sort
mm,
of reception. And I think I could have been like, really, you know, and then I think that could have been like, you see, good for you. You see your life. You went to go and
mm,
look for somebody that wasn't checking for you. I could have been like that, and I could have been like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. But I wanted to know how my friend was doing. I was concerned about her. And I don't think that it's a must that you must talk to everybody every day.
everybody,
I
yeah.
don't know who is like that. Everybody has something they're doing,
You're doing, yeah.
but I think it's key. I think it's important to check in on your friends, even the ones that you think, they've got it together. They sometimes that phone call from you helps. So, why am I saying this? I'm saying I understand the trepidation. If I
Mm-hmm.
call at this person is like, what do you want? Just like what I received.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's the first step.
Okay.
That's the first step. You can always call me. What is it? You can always call me, you know? And I think a lot of people think they've reached a certain age, they're set in their ways, it's not going to change. We are always changing, we are always evolving, we're
Yeah.
always looking to be better versions of ourselves. I think people who just don't, sometimes people are like, you never change. Actually, I have, you know? And I think when they say that, I think the good parts of myself or the parts that make me feel good, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to change them because they don't need changing.
Yeah.
But there are parts of myself that I feel, hey, let's work on this. Let's do better. Oh, it looks like some people have been. Oh, I see the messages. They were going to private chat. That's why I didn't see it.
Okay.
All right. So yes, wow, we have a nice audience. You guys, do you have any questions for Bolanle? She's here, she's ready for your questions. Do you have special requests? Like what pies would you like to see her bake? I mean, feel free to ask the questions. You can click on the link that I sent if you want to come on the live chat. Um Yeah, we're going to be rounding up pretty soon. So, what are your expectations going forward? Whether it's family life with your children, especially the business. What do you hope to see? What do you hope to accomplish going forward?
Okay. With family, uh, just for my kids to be healthy, continue to stay well. My husband, for the friendship to continue to grow. For my business, to have a stronger presence in Ikeja and then be able to expand out. Um,
Ikeja said they don't want apple pie.
they will want it to. They will eat it. They have to learn. They have to learn. it might take them some time, but they have to learn how to enjoy such things because apple pies are just yummy.
Delicious.
Oh
Oh my
Lord.
God. Ah, ah.
Um, so to be able to expand out from there is something that I would like to do. It's top of my mind. And get pies in supermarket freezers. Yes.
Oh, yes. I didn't even ask you about that.
Yep.
What's the idea about that?
Okay, so for that to happen, I have been looking at the NAFDAC rules
Mm-hmm.
because they have to come check out the bakery that everything's up to snuff, then make pies for them to be able to test the product. But it's a long process again. Um, but that's what I want to do. So I've started looking into that process to see how I'm going to wade through that particular process.
Yes. Oh my God.
And
That's
so
perfect. I
that's
mean,
it.
that's
That's what I want to do, to be able to go to the supermarkets and just do that and be okay. Jim, okay? But yeah, that's nice.
oh my God. Well, I'm so very happy we got to do this. I've
Yes,
been, I'm dropping
it's
things.
really nice.
I've been saying, when I remember seeing Pieko Bakery, I said, we have another baker in XOG. What?
Yeah,
You know,
true.
I love the name. And I was like, why haven't we seen more of this? Why aren't we hearing about this? And then to hear the transition that, you were doing this and you decided to go, I don't care where you are in the world, deciding to give up a steady stream of income to actually use the income you have to put into something for yourself. It's a huge undertaking. And I
Mm,
think that to be able to sit down, put a plan together, and execute is a wonderful thing. And it's very impressive. I don't care what it is. And that's why I said, look, I need to talk to you. And let's hear about this. It's amazing. I love people who care about their soul, you
mm,
know, they want a better quality of life. And to know that you said to yourself, this high blood pressure to drive to VI when I can be in my own environment, doing what I love, I'm staying healthy. It's amazing.
it's
And
amazing.
kudos to you. This is why I say I
Thank
have the
you.
most interesting friends ever. I'm so happy we got to do this. Um, oh, apple pie sure are yummy.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a comment. As per registration with NAVDAG, you can get a consultant to do the registration for you. They will fast track the process. Usually their staff or extra. Wow. There
Thank
you
you,
go.
Cheryl.
There you go. So this is good. So basically, it'll go on there. But then what about the packaging and all of that? Is that something you have to do yourself, or is it based on the shop where you're going to be selling
No,
it?
that would be me. I would come up with the packaging just to make sure that it's waterproof so that when it's in the freezer, it doesn't affect the pies
Yes.
and all that stuff. So that would be me.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, so you does anyone have I'm seeing a lot of comments coming on here. Mostly people are saying hi. Sharon, thank you so much for the suggestion. Does anyone have a specific question for Bolanle regarding the bakery and starting the business or anything like that? Let's hear any part of the conversation that you thought was interesting. Do you want to ask? we're gonna we're gonna start wrapping up in a little bit. Traveling, what do you think about traveling? Do you like to travel? You do?
I hate being on the plane, but I love to travel.
Are you serious? That's my favorite part of the whole
I get
thing.
I get airsick.
Really? When I hear about people who get air sick, seasick, car sick, I had a cousin who was just in the car. She couldn't. I was like, how does that happen? I love that's in fact that's the best place for sleep for me. Once I get on the plane,
That's
lights
all I
out.
can. If I
Lights
don't watch
out.
a movie, I need to sleep because if I'm awake, all that just
Are you
oh
serious?
yeah.
And I don't want to sit down. Like, thank God, my husband and I. So my BDD and I were traveling all the time. So of course he's beside me, and I take the window. I don't want to sit down next to someone who's going to be chatting, and you sit down on the plane, and somebody's like,
Don't talk
they
to me.
have questions all through, and I'm like, I don't even understand why you don't understand how this works. Keep to your seat. Let me mind my business. Oh my God. So where's tell me one fun place you've been.
That I loved,
You
really
absolutely
loved.
love.
I enjoyed going to Kenya.
Oh, really? I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting you to say that. Kenya.
Yes.
Wow. What is it
Kenya.
about Kenya?
You know how you go to England during spring and it's nice and cool.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya is like that. You're in Africa, but it's still nice. It's cool. The people are friendly,
Oh,
and
yes. Yes, yes. Kenyans, that's one thing
that
that
is
Kenyans
that
are
is yeah, that
friendly.
is nice.
Yes.
That is nice.
Do you do
So,
safaris when you go and
no, because my husband don't like such stuff. No,
no
no,
safari?
no safari. But
Mm.
really, if I all my travels, well, most of my travels, I always just had conferences that I had to go to, and then that would be where I would go to. So I would just not go for the safari.
Oh,
Yeah, I could wander the city. I can walk up and down, window
but no
shop, and all that,
safari.
but no safari.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't look like we're having any questions. And Bolanle, at Pieko Bakery, is this your Instagram handle
Yes,
or
ma'am.
okay? So let me type it in Instagram. You put up photos of all your delicious
Mm-hmm.
pies and stuff like that.
Yep, yep, yep.
And you're also on Facebook.
Yes, I am.
Um, that's the same.
It's the
Uh,
same. I kept the handles the same.
okay. Instagram. I hope I didn't spell. Okay, so this is her handle on Instagram and Facebook. I have put up the address, and that's it's gonna show up obviously in the comments. I didn't put it. Just says Harmony Enclave. Is there more to
Yeah,
it?
I think
Just
it's. I
Ikeja
think.
Legal Order.
Yeah.
Where is it? Let me see. So it said six Ade
Or
Odonye
dying. Yes.
Close. Odanye Close,
Yes, ma'am.
Harmony Enclave,
Enclave.
and that is Ikeja,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes.
Ikeja, Lagos, and obviously I have the phone number there as well for delicious, sweet, and savory pies. Please, can you ship some apple pie to me in the Denver area of the United States of America?
I
So
should be
that
shipping from you. You have so many apples, so many different apples
I
I can
know,
choose.
right? They have there's an apple here. Oh my god, I've forgotten the name of the apple that is indigenous to
Denver.
Denver. I forget what it's called. Oh my god. I'll remember. But yeah, there's like tons of but my favorite apples to use for apple pies are Granny Smiths.
Oh, that will make them so tart.
Oh no, they're delicious. What do you use? Fuji?
No. We have one. What's that thing called? Oh, can't remember right now. But it's. What is my brain doing? It's a mix of what I do is I mix the apples. I use a
Mhm.
little bit of Granny Smith, and then there's another variant that I think we call them pink ladies or something
Oh
here.
yes, those are
Uh huh.
sweet.
Yeah, so
Those are sweet.
I mix them with the Granny Smiths so that we have a nice balance in the apples.
Oh, I just use Granny Smith's and that's it. Pretty much. It's delicious. I think for me, with pies, the crust is
the king.
yeah, exactly. Once you have the crust, you're golden.
Everything else is okay.
This was so lovely. Thank you so much, Bolanle, for agreeing to do this.
Thank you for asking me.
Yes, I'm just so it's just like I get so excited when I have friends who do these wonderful things. I'm like, in Nigeria, where things are so tough, to be able to put this together and to get the fulfillment from it. And I see the glow. I see how happy you are about doing this. And I wish you like tremendous success.
Thank you.
And hopefully, we can do another one of these and see how things are going. Yes. This was so great. I'm so happy I got to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. And for our viewers and people who joined, my Smooners, thank you so much for being here. Obviously, this is the live stream, but if you missed it, the first part of it, it's going to be posted on Being Mrs. S on Facebook and YouTube. And also, if you listen on Anchor, you can listen to this wherever you listen to your podcasts. And hopefully you're going to share this on your Pieko page as well on Facebook so people can see
it.
And it really is an amazing effort. Oh my God. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. So it's quite impressive, and hopefully we're going to do this again, but I thank you. Oh, that's wonderful. Tremendous success with your business, Bolanle. Great show as always.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy. This little cute koala, I see this. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Bolanle, we're gonna plan to do this again. This was so good. There are a lot of things that we talked about that I think everybody can pull something from. So
yeah.
All right. Okay, so that is the end of the show. And as usual, I'll circle back. Love you, my Smooners.